You notice the smile came half a second too late, just a fraction, but you felt it. You noticed the compliment had something sharp underneath it, something that sounded like praise but landed like a warning. You noticed the room changed when you stopped pretending not to see, when you stopped laughing at the right moments, stopped playing the role everyone had quietly assigned you, stopped acting like the thing nobody was naming was not happening. And then something strange occurred. The people around you did not feel relieved that someone finally saw clearly. They became colder, more distant, more hostile, not because you said anything cruel, not because you attacked anyone, simply because you saw. Most people will tell you this happens because you are too intense, too sensitive, too much. They will say you make people uncomfortable because of how you come across. It is a comforting explanation. It puts the problem in your delivery rather than in what you saw. But Carl Jung would say something darker is happening. You did not become threatening because of what you said. You became threatening because of what your presence revealed. You became a mirror, and most people are not living in a way they can afford to see clearly reflected back at them. This is not about whether you are right or wrong. This is about what happens when one person stops performing in a room full of people who need the performance to continue. Imagine standing in front of someone holding a mirror they never asked for. You are not forcing it on them. You are simply there, present, clear, not pretending. And in the reflection they can see something they have spent years carefully not looking at. They do not thank you for the clarity. They turn on the mirror, because the mirror is easier to break than the thing it is showing them. This image returns every time someone in your life reacts to your calm with hostility, to your honesty with coldness, to your growth with quiet sabotage. They are not reacting to you. They are reacting to what you are holding up, and the clearer you become, the more unbearable the reflection gets for the people who need the distortion. Jung spent his life mapping what human beings do with the parts of themselves they cannot accept. He called it the shadow. Not evil exactly, not darkness in the dramatic sense, simply everything a person has pushed underground to maintain the image they need to project to the world. The anger they deny, the envy they dress as concern, the ambition they hide behind humility, the resentment they perform as patience. Jung believed the shadow does not disappear because it is ignored. It moves. It finds somewhere else to live, and one of its favorite addresses is other people. When someone cannot face what is living inside them, they find it in the person nearest them and react to it there instead. This is projection, and it is one of the most common and least examined forces in human relationships. Here is the machinery running underneath the hostility. You have not judged them, but your presence implies a judgment they cannot argue with because it came from inside them first. When their approval no longer decides your behavior, something in the relationship changes, and power that cannot be used feels, to the person holding it, like a personal attack. When you stop performing what the room expects, agreeable, harmless, convenient, careful not to name what everyone is avoiding, the group loses its script. And a group without its script needs someone to blame for the disruption. When you set a boundary, you are not taking anything from them, but to someone whose access to you was built on your having none, a boundary feels like a punishment. So their mind runs a very fast, very quiet calculation. If this person sees what I hide, and they are not pretending alongside me, then they are a threat. Not because you are, but because what you see threatens the version of themselves they need everyone to believe. You have watched this happen in rooms that should have felt safe. The friend who grows colder in direct proportion to how much your life improves. Not because they hate you, because your improvement asks a question of theirs they are not ready to answer. The family member who says you have changed, with the exact tone that makes clear, changed is not a compliment. The coworker who smiles at your face and quietly undermines you in the conversation you are not in. The person who gives you a compliment, immediately followed by a warning. You are doing well, but don't get too confident. Not encouragement, a correction. A small attempt to pull you back to a size they find manageable. The people who call your boundaries selfish, your clarity, arrogance, your honesty, aggression, all of them running the same machinery underneath different faces. They do not hate you. They hate what you stopped doing when you stopped pretending alongside them. This is where Jung goes further than most people follow him. He understood that every person walks through life wearing two things simultaneously: the persona, the face constructed for the world, the mask that says, "I am kind, reasonable, together, fine," and the shadow, everything that face is working hard to hide. The persona is not dishonest exactly. It is the edited version, the version that learned which parts of itself received love and which parts cleared the room. The problem is not that personas exist. The problem is what happens when someone nearby stops maintaining theirs. Because a dropped mask in a room full of masks is not neutral. It is a challenge. It says, without saying anything, it is possible to exist without the performance. And for someone whose entire social world is built on a performance they cannot afford to stop, that possibility is genuinely threatening. Your authenticity does not feel like freedom to them. It feels like exposure. Watch the pattern repeat. Every time you stop needing approval, someone in your life loses their grip on you. And a person who loses grip without understanding why will find a reason that makes it your fault. Every time you stop playing the role, the group that needed you in it will work to put you back, not through confrontation always, through small corrections. A joke with an edge, a comment with a sting, a sudden distance with no explanation offered. Every time you grow visibly, someone nearby has to decide what to do with the comparison. Some people let it inspire them, but the ones who cannot do that, the ones who built their self-image partly on being ahead of you, or alongside you, or at least not behind you, they will find a way to make your growth mean something unflattering about you, rather than something uncomfortable about them. This is not cruelty, it is protection. The psyche defending itself against a verdict it did not choose and cannot easily dismiss. But here is where the honest version of this idea cuts in a direction you were not expecting. Not everyone who reacts badly to you is projecting their shadow. Not every person who pulls away is threatened by your clarity. Not every hostile response is evidence that you see something real they are hiding from. Sometimes you are not holding a mirror. Sometimes you are sharp in ways you have not examined. Sometimes the clarity you trust is protecting you from something in exactly the same way you just described other people being protected. Jung's framework is not a tool for deciding you are the conscious one in a room full of people avoiding themselves. It is an invitation to ask the same question in both directions. Yes, what are they projecting? But also, what are you refusing to see about the way you move through rooms? What does your certainty protect you from examining? Is your clarity a gift, or is it sometimes a wall that lets you see outward very precisely while seeing inward as little as possible? The shadow does not belong only to the people around you. It belongs to anyone who has something they would rather not face, including you. So the real question is not simply, why do they react this way when I see through them? The real question cuts both ways. Are they hostile because you see clearly? Or are you seeing so clearly outward because looking inward would cost you something you are not ready to pay? Because Jung's work was never meant to explain other people. It was meant to explain yourself. The projection you identify in others is useful only to the degree it sends you back toward your own unexamined corners. The mirror works both ways, and the person most threatened by a clear reflection is not always the one standing across from you. Sometimes it is the one doing the holding.